Libra, welcome to your March 2022 General Tarot reading. It's Raina here. Oh, you have some nice cards here. I think I showed this before. I think that's a selenite. The heart of the matter is the Page of Wands starts spreading the news. This is a message of good news that comes to you. This I associate with Aries. You see the little buds or the leaves sprouting, which to me is like the springtime, and that kind of vibe. And the page is kind of that stage of early growth, and it's such a joy. Now I know some of you live in a place where it's autumn and it's like a totally different feeling, but the astrological new year really coincides with this northern hemisphere type of experience with the weather and the accompanying emotions. And but anyway, this when I look at it astrologically in March, because the astrological new year is on the 20th of the month, that is the time when the sun goes into your opposite sign, Libra, of Aries. And Aries is your seventh house, your house of committed partnership. So there might be some good news if you've been wanting a commitment from somebody. Then you might have that conversation and they do it. I actually saw. I'm not legally married. I've been with my partner for many years, so I'm not like this marriage type of person. But I saw like a sweet proposal on YouTube. I think it went viral, so some of you may have seen it. And, you know, she was like a meteorologist or something. I can't remember. But I thought it was so, it was just so cool. I didn't think it was corny or showboating. You know, you could say it was, you know, showboating because it was in front of all those people. But I don't know. There was something about it that seemed very genuine. I think it was actually filmed when it wasn't live. It was just when she was doing some kind of a taping or something. So maybe it was a little bit more intimate, but that kind of thing is wonderful. And you may be very thrilled about finally being able to have this happen in your life. But anything that is happy news or something that you are initiating too, because I can see that initiating type of an energy with the page as well, and like a new relationship taking foot. In the past position, we have the 10 of Pentacles. This is a card of money, big money, family money. So this can be the family business. It can be one of those classic dilemmas of, do you do your own thing or do you feel obligated to help the family and the family business? Do you go your own way? Wands relate to the fire element, which is about independence, autonomy, doing your own thing. Maybe you could say resourcefulness, self-sufficiency, where you're not relying on somebody else, relying on their money. It could be a relationship with a Capricorn. I'm saying with the 10 of Pentacles, I really think of that as Capricorn. I don't know if it is. The other earth signs are Taurus and Virgo. But the reason I say Capricorn is because Capricorn rules the 10th house and is an earth sign that would be connected. But like I said, I don't know. But maybe that person was good for you for a season. Maybe they added stability to your life. Perhaps they're even older than you. And now you've met a person, the page could even be younger than you, where it's like the earth versus the fire element. An air sign is going to naturally have more of an affinity for a fire sign, because you're both masculine signs. You're both expansive. I think fire is known to be expansive, but I think air is as well. It's all encompassing, and it's not tied to the earth so much. It's kind of like intangible. And so maybe that, if this is that earth type of person, maybe they have given you a nice lifestyle, but what has been lacking is passion. What has been lacking is this creative force generated within you. It's like being in a golden cage where you are taken care of, or you feel safe, but you feel very stagnant. The higher message is the Two of Swords. How I would see this, looking at it as a higher message, I don't interpret these cards literally for their literal interpretation. I look at the bigger picture for this placement. So, you see the person is blindfolded. And, another thing that's interesting about this card is, wouldn't you say that image is androgynous? Like, I'd like to say that's a woman, but, with the puffy sleeves but the hair isn't that long. I don't know. And I think that's part of it, the moon, the deception, the confusion. It's really, to me, this card ultimately is about thinking that you have a decision to make when really you have blinders on and you are not really seeing it clearly enough. Like when people say, I don't know if I should stay in my marriage. I just met this person. It's like, oh my God, we have like the most amazing chemistry. And they really think their decision is between those two people. And it's like, how do you even know that? How do you know that either one of these people is the right person for you? Just because you're experiencing this passionate affair doesn't mean it's going to translate into a relationship, does it? I mean, but they're just caught up in the emotion. They're caught up in the excitement. And it feels like, with the pentacles, it can feel kind of dull. It's safe, but it's dull because it doesn't have that, it's grounded, but it doesn't have that oomph attached to it. It's almost kind of predictable, and you can take it for granted very easily. So you don't want to do that as well. But, maybe this Page of Wands is a catalyst for you to shake yourself out of the complacency of a relationship that has long since gotten stale. But it doesn't mean that person is the right one. And you might be thinking, oh yeah, because Libra people tend to go from one relationship to the other. And that isn't necessarily very wise, because if you want to really learn from your mistakes, I don't like to call them mistakes if they're people, but the choices that maybe you wouldn't make if you had to do it over again, then you have to be willing to see things for what they are. And that might not be that easy when you have blinders on and when you want something so badly that you're willing to settle for less sometimes, or get blinded by the heat. Or that's a mixed metaphor, isn't it? What crosses you, the Four of Swords, this is usually a time to rejuvenate yourself. Kind of, to me, reflection is part of this. But it can even be letting go of thoughts and healing the body, healing the psyche. And you won't do this for some reason. Maybe you are in the throes of something. One thing I want to say too is that if you have an inheritance issue, the Ten of Pentacles is a big card for me when it comes to inheritances. There is something that, you may be awaiting this news. But the problem is that you might not be able to hear it properly, because we have that Two of Swords. There's some kind of loggerheads, and if you would take time to really tune in, that would be very helpful, because you might be getting deceptive messages. You might be getting people pulling at you from both ends. And Libra isn't the most decisive sign to begin with. So it doesn't help you, because you want to be all things to all people, and you can't. What's coming in is the High Priestess. Now, in your case, with the full moon that is occurring in the month of March, it's going to be in Virgo, and that for you is the 12th house. So this can bring out secrets. This can bring out things that have been underground, and it can also be like prophetic dreams that you, a prophetic dream or prophetic dreams that you have around that time, that let you know what the deal is with certain people. Maybe the 12th, because you know what? The 12th house is the house of hidden enemies. So you might find out that someone you thought was on your side really isn't. But whatever, if you have a dilemma going on or whatever's going on, the High Priestess is about tuning into your higher self. And I would say with the Four of Swords is the way to really do this, to withdraw from the world. It's kind of like, I look at the Four of Swords, it's kind of like the minor arcana version of the Hermit. I don't think that that's true like 100%, but I think because it also, to me, and I think it's, they talk about the body being restored. So it kind of speaks to this stress that somebody has been enduring, and then they let go from that, and they're able to, they heal from that, and so they're able to attack a dilemma with full energy. They're not feeling that sense of depletion like they would. You don't want to run on half a tank, in other words, because there's like high-powered energy here. The outcome is the Six of Wands. This is a great card for career matters. This is recognition in your career. Also, with the Ten of Pentacles and the Page of Wands, you might be receiving news of a raise, and that's your good news, or a promotion and a raise. And the Six of Wands really seals the deal. So if that is the case, and it's possible too that you were thinking of going on your own, but it's like an offer you can't refuse. If you don't mind being in that particular workplace, you might stay on. Even if you are becoming more spiritual, even if you feel like you have more of that influence coming into your life versus a more material way of looking at life, you still maybe you can create some goals, some financial goals to save. Like, don't buy anything for 6 months unless it's food and your actual needs, and save every penny that you have so that you can feel more financially independent if you decide to go on your own. But it can feel very good to receive the praise. Maybe that's something that you always wanted. but it's a card of like winning, you know. So that's what I have for. Oh, and by the way, this is also a card of Leo, so maybe that's what the Page of Wands. Maybe it's a new relationship with a Leo. Certainly would be compatible with a Leo, at least on paper. That's what I have for you, Libra. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, I do a lot of astrology readings. Please click on the link below for that. Take care. Bye.